Oh. Okay. Is everything good? Everything in check? Everything is in check. And with that note, what's going on, guys? It is I, Cooper88, also known as Steve, and I'm back finally, guys. Well, not back, but I'm back enough that I can start doing YouTube videos and stuff again. To those that have been waiting ever since I did that Fallout Shelter video for me to come back and start doing videos again, thank you guys so very much for that. To those that have been like, you know, Steve, have you stopped the channel? Like, have you disappeared? What? Relax, guys. I've just been dealing with a lot of stuff outside of YouTube. Mainly, I kind of got into a little bit of a depressive slump. Not to bring you guys down, but I got into that slump that you get into where you kind of start to doubt yourself and you kind of start to doubt the things that you love and they just don't feel viable anymore. So that's basically what kind of happened to me in a nutshell. I basically got stressed out and wasn't sleeping well, and you know, the weather's been kind of hectic. You know, it's made me kind of get stuck in my own head, which is never a good thing. But things are finally starting to look on the up and up for me, guys. Things are starting to turn out great. Unfortunately, this will be the only video that I'm able to get out this week. We'll see about tomorrow, but tomorrow, more than likely, I'm probably just going to want to have a day to myself. Because lately I've been on a Fallout 4 kick, so I may or may not stream on Twitch tomorrow, and I may do a little bit more Fallout, I may do a little bit of Diablo 3, I haven't figured it out yet, but I've been trying to use Twitch a lot more recently, and I've done a couple of streams here and there on it, but I don't know, my mood fluctuates, guys. I'm trying to take care of myself as well as take care of you guys. I do most of this stuff for you guys, but I also have to take care of myself, and obviously I have to adult and do responsible things that adults need to do. But now that I've got all the serious and boring stuff out of the way, guys, welcome to episode 3 of Jak and Dexster. When we last left off, we were going through the precursor ruins, which are underwater. Let's get into this. Let's go see what adventures await us in this lovely tunnel of death. Let's see. I do not like this camera angle at all. Is there? Hang on. Nope, that's not it. It's been so long since I've played this, I forgot, like, the controls. There we go. Okay. There we go. I got it now. Never mind. Ooh, so I gotta be quick about this. Okay. Okay. And do a little bit of scoping. Scope out the scene. Trying to get re-educated on the controls. Ow! Just hoping not to do that. I'm re-educating myself on the controls here, guys. Don't worry. Why did I not shoot these guys down? There we go. Ooh, barely got that. Okay. While we're going through all this, while I'm re-educating myself on the controls, what have you guys been up to? What delectable, delightful goodies have you guys been getting into recently? And I died. That was embarrassing. I swear I'm gonna get it right at one point. No, you know what? I can't be mad about it because honestly, ow. This will probably be the only video that I do today because I do have a little bit of housework and other things that I need to get done. Gotta try to be a responsible adult. My advice to all the children that are not paying attention in school today and deciding that they just wanna goof off and watch some YouTube. You guys shouldn't be watching me play this. You should be studying. Yeah, I know, I'm sounding like a preachy mom, but I'm just saying, your education is more important. Trust me, it helps. And besides, these videos will be here later. Pay attention to what Mr. McDougal is teaching you. Or Mrs. or whatever. You guys know what I'm saying, don't? I hear y'all patronizing in the comments. I can't even be mad at that. I have to laugh at that because I knew I was going to miss it too. I just think it's funny. Let's jump off this. Ow. Hey, don't be doing that. See, I'm getting better. I'm getting it. Ow.
While you're down there, could you rub my feet?
What? Oh, now Dexter's gonna start insulting us because I've died multiple times. And his first question is, hey, you like my feet? No, Jack, I don't like your feet. Your feet stink. Get them out of my face. I do not like that. I do not like that, Sam I am. I do not like it with green eggs and ham. And yes, I quoted Dr. Seuss. Okay, now let's... Okay, so finally we got all that. We died 50 billion times. For some odd reason today, this is not responsive today. I jumped down and died.
Don't worry, I'll avenge you! Not?
Well, screw you too. How about you not gonna avenge me? How about I'm not gonna avenge you not? Got another one. Oh no, I think I screwed myself over on this. Oh, no, I didn't. Never mind. False alarm. Ah, there we go. Okay, I'm starting to get into the rhythm of it. It's hard to judge distance because they have the camera set at such a weird angle. And yeah, I know I should be using the microscope a lot more, but I don't feel like it. Because the inverted controls mess with my head. Trying to find my rhythm again, guys. Okay. How are you guys doing? Everybody doing good? Everybody enjoying this summer? Where am I going? Okay, is there something that I'm supposed to be doing here? Oh, wait a minute. I think I know what I'm supposed to do. Hang on. I think I got it. Buzz! Oh, I got another trophy. Where the? Ow! Jeez. Okay. Let's do this right, properly, gingerly, copacetically. Don't do that. Don't be doing that. One foot in front of the other. Okay. Gotta do some platforming. 'Cause that's always my favorite. Note the enthusiasm in my voice. Okay, let's see if all those years of playing Mega Man have actually worked. And nope, they didn't. That I'm not even looking. I just know where I'm jumping to. Is that serious, baby? Now at 81. Remember that, guys. 81. So I'm gonna guess that I'm gonna have to do some long way puzzles, and that's not what we're here to do. So let's flip the script on this. There we go. Hey. Oh, no you don't. Ah. I know what you're thinking. Steve's gonna fall in the dark eco at some point. Not today. That really didn't do what I thought it was going to do. I have no frickin'... Do not like this.
How about we take it easy on those hard times?
And that is why. I'm not into automatic death. Hey, Glanders. Bastard. Jeez. What? Oh. There we go. Yay! That's another one down. And that's called progress, boys and girls, and progress is good. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we went down that hallway. That one leads back to there, so we go this way. I knew that was going to happen. Where am I going? Okay, so this is a room of death. And I died. Okay, so I got to slide downhill here. I don't know about that, Lewis. I only say it's a room of death just simply because I am at 1% health. It's the only reason. Beyond that, everything else is fine. What am I doing? Better yet, what am I opening? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is timed.
I'll bet we can get all of those things charged at once.
Really, Dexter? I hadn't kerfunkled that. First things first, I need to quit spinning around. You around. Need to be quick about this because some of the, there we go. Okay. Yes. Okay. What do we got here? Oh, I gotta hit the platform. I just realized in that previous room that I could have hit all those. I am not a smart man. Okay.
Wow! You raised a piece of the underwater ruins to the surface. It seems you can use eco in ways we've never seen before. A power cell surfaced with the room. Climb up there and get it.
Where'd the... Okay, so let's... Come on. Pick it up. There we go. Now, having said that, let me... I'm going to jump back down and go back into the ruins, because no way I'm letting that... Well, actually... Well, never mind. I got eaten. Oh, the ruins are over here. Okay, no, that's the swamplands. I don't need the swamplands quite yet.
Oh, yeah! These drops will help me win my way back out of this barrel. Here's the power cell, I promise.
Yeah, let's go pay this guy, get this power cell. Okay, so we're done with that. Good. Come on. Okay, now let's go back down there and try to get a couple more power cells. The key to this, for me, is I'm trying to get... I know for some of y'all it's like I just want to see the story, but it's like, the story can't technically advance unless I get a lot of power cells. So it's kind of a necessary evil, unfortunately. But it's also good because it gives me a chance to kind of complete the game, and you guys kind of get to see almost like your own guide when you start playing this game, whether it's on classic PS2 or playing, you know, in this case the, you know, port or remastered here on PlayStation. I am playing the first Jak and Dexter game. Of course, they don't call it Jak and Dexter 1, which was called the Precursor Legacy. I have all 3 Jak and Dexter games, which will be featured at some point on this channel. I just thought that I would do the trilogy in order, so I'm gonna play through 1, and then eventually at some point you guys will see 2 and 3 on the channel. I don't know, it's the only video I'm probably going to be able to get out today, and I thought that it would actually just be easier to play this game because, you know, it's not super stressful, it's pretty easy, and it's just a fun game, actually. It's not a very stressful game. Makes you feel good inside kind of game, if that makes sense. That, and I'm pretty sure you guys didn't want to get bored by watching me try to play Fallout Shelter and just... I don't know, I've been playing Fallout Shelter a lot more. Like, Fallout Shelter is like my... It's like my Zen Garden game, as I've jokingly told people. It's just like a game that I can kind of play when I don't feel like being stressed out. Ah, I see how this works now. Oh, this is timed. Oh, crap, I better get going. Okay, game. I see you. Don't you dare. Oh, just barely. Well, that is just all of the suck. I want to have to dive all the way over there just to get all of these. Oh, that was scary. Come on. I can tell you right now, Clanders, if they're following the Infinity, like, Gauntlet series from back in the 70s or 80s, not everybody is going to be dead. They're actually, where they are is inside the Soul Gem, because the Soul Gem has a place called the Soul Realm, which is basically, it's a world inside the gem itself. Like, for example, at the end, when you saw Thanos with young Gamora, they were actually in the Soul Realm, which is just like a realm of infinite... What's the word I'm looking for? Think of it as like an infinite tapestry, like a zone that pretty much everybody's stuck in. That's why when you notice in that scene, it's very luminescent. Okay, you know what? I'm fine with that. I'm gonna wait for this to transport back, because I know when I'm gonna do it. No, because like everybody's just like, oh, you know, everybody's gonna be back because you know there's a Homecoming 2 and a Black Panther 2. It's like, yeah, but still, you feel the emotional weight more of the fact that Thanos succeeded than anything. That's kind of the trick that they were doing with that movie, and I don't think a lot of people caught that. A lot of people just expected it to be, well, oh, everybody's gonna beat Thanos and that's it. It's like, no. It's not a theory, it's the truth. That's literally what the Soul Gem does. At the end of the Infinity storyline, Adam Warlock, who's not even going to be introduced till Guardians 3, when he got a hold of the gauntlet, he trapped Thanos inside of the Soul Gem. So Thanos didn't die, but rather his essence, his spirit, was trapped in an ethereal realm that exists inside of the Soul Gem. Like, oh, I barely made that. No, like it's always so funny because everybody's like, oh my god, everybody disappeared. It's like, no, I understand what you're saying, Clanders. You know, obviously for movie logic, they can't just explain, well, the gem, you know, can do this ability, but stop and think about that for a second. Why was the Soul Gem, out of all the gems, the hardest to find? Furthermore, when Red Skull talked about, you know, you have to make a sacrifice, that's... You know, it's the, you know, essentially what, you know, all the other gems that have ever existed, gems, stones, whatever you want to call it, in the actual comics, they just boosted powers, altered reality, all that stuff. But what makes the Soul Gem special is the Soul Gem technically is actually semi-sentient. Like, it is aware of whoever is using the gauntlet. But the Soul Gem is also the most dangerous because, you know, Thanos wiped out half the galaxy. Well, Thanos technically didn't wipe out half the galaxy. He more or less just took everybody's soul. Kind of like Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat, but on a mass genocide scale. You know, I like that they did that reveal because so many people kept asking, where's Red Skull in these movies? What happened to him after First Avenger? And some people liked it, some people felt it was a shoehorn. I thought it was actually brilliant because, you know, they acknowledge where he's been and they also kind of give a sense... Well, no, stop and think about it. Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat takes people's souls. He takes the souls of the fighters that he's beaten. That's kind of like what the Soul Gem does. It will take the people that it wants to trap. And it has its own pocket dimension, which is the soul dimension. Now, I mean, it's one of those, like, it's hard to explain versus actually, like, reading the source material to understand kind of why I paraphrase it. You know, that's the beauty of comics. You can't rule that stuff out, because who's to say that Red Skull can't find a way back into modern day society? Because you gotta remember, in the comics, he's technically cloned himself and made cybernetic versions of himself with his consciousness. Furthermore, if what they're saying for Avengers 4 is true, then they're going to possibly alter the timeline to where even after First Avengers, we may actually see Arnim Zola and Red Skull both in their I guess you could say modern day comic archetypes. Basically, in other words, the history that we know from First Avenger would be pretty much kind of like retcon. Because the one thing especially that Avengers 4 could achieve is a butterfly effect thing, to where so many different things could happen. For example, say they got the rights back to the X-Men. Avengers 4, a ripple effect of that could be that Inhumans aren't the only species that end up existing. You could find a way to put mutants in there. That's kind of the interesting thing about the Marvel movies going forward, is it's a conundrum of, okay, as they get the rights to a lot of these other characters and whatnot, how could they find a way to make them fit? Well, a lot of people consider it lazy writing, but really, Avengers 4 could open the door for a lot of script writing opportunities, as far as being able to retcon certain things that maybe, going forward didn't seem like a good idea. And then other stuff that maybe, kind of changes the landscape, if you will. It's a slippery slope. It's definitely a slippery slope, creatively, because you're like, well, how do you... They've bought it and made a deal with it. I think the most interesting thing, and I'm curious, and I'm trying to imagine his voice, but somebody...
I got a bad feeling about this. Jack, run! The dark eco is rising!
Oh, hang on. I'll get that philosophical discussion in a second, because I got to do an Indiana Jones chase sequence. Get out of here. Yep, never mind, I died. But anyway, the most interesting thing was they asked Lawrence Fishburne, they said, if you could play any Marvel character besides Will Foster in the upcoming, Ant-Man and the Wasp movie, who would you play? Lawrence Fishburne said something rather fascinating. He goes, for those who are in the know, I've already played the Silver Surfer. He said, he goes, I want to not just play Silver Surfer, but I want to play the villain as well. Lawrence Fishburne has said that he's not necessarily super into that like a lot of people, but he said that he would want to give a go at playing the Devourer of Worlds. And I looked at that and I was like, Lawrence Fishburne return as the voice of Galactus. I'm like, that... I'm not against it, but I'm rather intrigued by that. I mean, it would be kind of poetically ironic. I mean, he was the voice of, you know, Surfer, and then to play the voice of, you know, Galactus would be... It'd be kind of a weird full circle thing. But how would you explain it, though, is the question that I'm more curious about. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting opportunities for storytelling, I think, in any of these movies. Although some people have also gone on to make articles saying, well, since Marvel's now pro-SJW, they're going to start getting rid of a lot of their conservative and progressive characters, you know, like Cap and whatnot. And I looked at that and I was like, not necessarily, and they don't have to kill these characters off. They could have some of them retire. I mean, big case in point. What would you... Big case in point, Robert Downey Jr. is not a free chicken anymore. Technically, you could have Tony just retire in the Marvel universe and have somebody else take over as Iron Man. Or you could have, you know, or Steve Rogers doesn't even have to die. Steve could just become Commander Rogers like he did in the comics. And everybody's like, well, then where does that leave Nick Fury? It leaves Nick Fury being Nick Fury. Like, where... You're not demoting a character. I mean, Nick doesn't even run S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore, so it's like, it doesn't really matter that much. If anything, it's comic accurate, actually. I just think it's funny that people find a reason to want to complain about everything. That's why, you know, God rest his soul, Lin Win was not... Lin Win was not wrong. You know, he said it best. He goes, you can't always adapt everything straight from the comics. He goes, and sometimes the stuff that works in the comics is going to look stupid on TV or in movies. He goes, you have to add that realistic element to give the character strike. If they can do all the things that they can do in the comics, well then that makes them boring and interesting, especially to an audience that are not comic readers, that don't know the character. And you know, I would have argued against that, but being a small-time creative and looking at the field of screenwriting and doing scripts for comics and just scripts period, I kind of understand what he means by that. You know, it's the archetype of, well, how do you tell the story and tell it effectively, is basically what it boils down to. I mean, you can't tell a story where your hero wins all the time. You have to eventually at some point have the villain gain the upper hand, otherwise, you know, it just... The mentality of the hero has to win all the time worked back in the day, but in today's world, people want their heroes and villains to have a little bit of substance. That's why I like a lot of the stuff with Thanos in Infinity War. It shows... I wouldn't say that it humanized Thanos, but it just gave us a reason as to his line of thinking. And some people liked it, some people didn't. Some people are like, well, he's a heartless dictator. Why would you give people an emotional investment into his character? Because if you show that Thanos' logic is not flawed from his own perspective, then it makes you kind of start to understand his point. Same thing with Killmonger. Killmonger was a ruthless a-hole, but you understand the goal of what he was trying to do in Black Panther, even though it was wrong. When you can tell that kind of storytelling to where you're like, you know, I don't agree with his ideology, but I see where he's coming from, that's not only a good villain, but that's just good creative writing and storytelling, where you can make even the audience believe that the bad guy, you know, is a little bit right, that that he or she is not completely wrong. And when you do stuff like Civil War, where you kind of show both sides and show, you know, well, you know, Tony was right about this, but, you know, Cap shouldn't have done this, and, you know, I try to look at it more from the perspective as a comic fan as much as I do a creative writer, as far as hang on. Sorry to those that are like listening to me drone on, but I like getting into discussions sometimes because it's interesting. Basically, what I'm saying, Clanders, what I'm saying is creatively, when you can write your villain, when you can write your hero to not always be right, and you can write your villain to where even though what they're doing is extremely bad and extremely messed up, and you can make it seem, well, you know, I don't agree with this character, but I understand their point of view. That's good creative writing, and it's good screenwriting too, because then the audience that doesn't know the motivations of this character versus the people that do will kind of understand, okay, you know, the biggest example is both Thanos and Killmonger. You kind of understand their point of views. Thanos wants to kill half the galaxy. It's a very flawed mentality, but you kind of understand it, you know, and especially in a world where population control is a very big issue, it kind of makes a lot of sense that Thanos wants to do that to help the galaxy, but the problem is his logic is flawed in the fact that, you know, okay, the ends don't always justify the means. But in the case of Killmonger, okay, I understand his point, you know, because he's going from the perspective of, well, you know, I was just thrown out of, you know, my home and ostracized as a kid, you know, because of who my dad was, you know, you never wanted to take care of me. And then suddenly you look at T'Chaka, who is like when we see him in Civil War, you know, he's a paragon, you know, a virtuous man, a good man, a great ruler. But then when you get that moment that, okay, he left his own nephew in Killmonger, and he says, he is the truth that I chose to omit, it's like, you then kind of look at him differently, and you're kind of like, you know, it's like, wait a minute, this man was a benevolent ruler, this man tried to do the best for his people, and now you know, now it comes out that the man is not who he said he was. You know, that's powerful. What's up, Noob Blitz? What's going on, man? You know, that, like, honestly, Clanders and Lewis, that is the most powerful part of that, is the fact that, you know, you get character, when you can make characters that are inherently good, and you kind of bring those skeletons out of their closet, you know, the things that they choose to omit, you know, then all of a sudden, you go from, whoa, you know, hold up a minute. Case in point, Civil War. Nothing much, man. Getting a little bit of a discussion out of the way before I, you know, continue and wrap up what I'm doing here in the game. I just wanted to, because they couldn't hear me over the in-game audio, I wanted to finish my thought to them. But, no, like, honestly, Clanders and Lewis, like, how to word this. How to word this. Civil War was a great example because it showed that even a paragon of virtue like Cap is not always right. Case in point, he knew what Bucky had done, and he chose to omit that. But what I love is at the end, he admits that, you know, he said, I held it in to try to protect you, and he goes, really? He said, I shouldn't had. But Tony wasn't right either, because Tony was fighting on instinct like any of us would, but rather than listen and assess the situation, he basically took what happened and did it firsthand. This is one of the many other reasons that I love T'Challa as a character, because T'Challa looked at this, he understood this, he assessed this situation, but that scene with T'Challa stopping Zemo, that was a great scene in the fact that T'Challa's character came full circle. He wanted revenge, but ultimately T'Challa knew that if he took revenge, he would be no better than Zemo. And those are the kinds of layers of storytelling that are best, where you can give characters an arc, but you can also show that progression, especially in later installments. Case in point, Cap started off as, you know, a starry-eyed, you know, teen or young man that wanted to serve his country. Then he saw the dark side of war, got PTSD, and we start to see that in Age of Ultron, and then we see it in Winter Soldier. Cap has no connection to the real world. And then ultimately by Infinity War, you know, Cap is a PTSD-laden, you know, battle-hardened soldier whose only purpose in the world is just to keep trying to save it, to keep doing what he's done best, which is just be a soldier and a fighter. And he doesn't let up with this. And this is what I love. Cap never lets up. Even in the comics, if you follow that trend, he's never let up. Because he knows that for a second, if he stops fighting, if he stops being, you know, the soldier, so to speak, to be the soldier, so to speak, that it's going to dawn on him and he's going to realize that everything that he has ever had is lost. Not that he's not aware of it now, but the gravity of it will sink in. And it will eventually beat Steve down to the point that he will become massively depressed. And the funny part is they never talk about that. They never show it. The only time we really get that is in Avengers 1. When he, you know, is in the gym hitting the punching bag. And seeing the flashbacks. That's the only time that we really see that. Or the scene where Wanda's, you know, sorcery messed with Steve's head. But the thing that I love about Cap's arc throughout all these Marvel movies is slowly we've seen Steve's, you know, I guess you could say Steve's innocent facade kind of start to deteriorate, and we kind of start to very nuancedly see Steve kind of become bitter. Not fully, but like you see through the cracks that Steve's kind of becoming bitter. He's kind of starting to become disassociated with the world. Most people do. He never stops fighting evil in the world, and that's what makes it great. Is the fact that, and that's I think the thing that fights great. Well, honestly, Clanders, I stopped following modern comics, you know, a while ago because all the converging storylines don't make sense anymore. But no, that's. You know, everybody says he's not as perfect as Superman, Lewis, and I think the thing is that even though he's an alien and he's got all these powers, one could say Clark is very plausible as well. Like, that's part of the reason that I love Cap and Supes so much as characters, because they're paragons of virtue, but they are probably the most pained human beings. And everybody's like, well, how can Superman be pained? You know, it's like he's almost... Yeah, but if you knew that you were the last of your race, never knew your race, never knew your real father, your real parents, you were raised by humble farmers, you know, through like a dust bowl. If you pretty much had all these powers and you couldn't stop your own father from dying, yes, I'm going with the Richard Donner Superman movie where he had a heart attack and Clark couldn't stop it. You know, or in the case of Jeff Johns, you know, the Superman Brainiac storyline. But it's like, you know, you look at these things and really, you look at these things especially with Superman's character, and the fact that Lois is the thing that anchors him down. You look at all these different things and you kind of have to question, is Superman really as morally powerful as his powers portray him to be? And the answer is no. But everybody's like, oh, he's got all these powers, he could change the world. Yeah, but what about his character? What about who he is as a person, as a man? That's the thing that people need to look at with Superman. Same thing with Batman. People look at Batman's intelligence, but look at Bruce Wayne's flawed caricature. These are things that I think people need to kind of examine and look for. Okay, what am I doing here? Sorry to everybody that was watching or like joined in, and you're all of a sudden you're just like, it was like, no offense, Steve. We love, you know, we get that you love comics, but can we get some gameplay? Don't worry, guys. I'll get back to the gameplay here. I'm gonna figure out what I need to do here.
Present 120 precursor orbs, and a power cell will be your reward.
I just think that it's... Okay, so what are we doing here? Lost Precursor City. Okay, ooh, good. I got all of them. Okay. I don't know, I think we look at the world and we take it far more seriously than we really should. Like, there's no point to trying to explain the logic of comics. It just kind of is what it is. But I also understand that some people can't help but think that way. I don't know, that's just me. It's just my filter. That's how I look at things. I'm gonna get you, dude. I jumped too soon. Better quit. I don't know, we look at and idolize so many of these characters. Ow. You know, we look at and we idolize these characters, I think, so much. Hang on. There we go. Ow. I didn't mean to run into that. Turn my TV down a little bit. I didn't realize it was that loud. Probably why y'all couldn't hear me. I think we live in a world now where it's okay I think we live in a world now where I guess the heroes don't necessarily have as much value as they used to, if that makes any sense. And that's not to say that they don't. They do. They definitely do.
Good flying! Those lurkers were no match for your Zoomer. That's one more power cell.
Awesome. Oh, wrong way. Okay, cool. So we're knocking a few trophies out at least. Yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, where am I going? I'm like sitting here, I'm like, where is the thing? You know, I think the hero's not winning or becoming flawed, to me, is a great trend in a lot of modern day comics, movies, etc. Because really, having the hero win all the time is boring. Every once in a while they have to fall in order to be able to pick themselves back up. Otherwise, you know, like, what is the point, really? And a lot of people, for example, a lot of people are still ragging on Finn Jones's, you know, Iron Fist, saying, oh, why does he gotta have mommy and daddy issues? Well, my counter to that is okay, you don't give Danny Rand something to get over, then how are you going to progress his character? And everybody's like, well, he was still childish in Defenders. That was a great character opportunity. Well, you know, somebody brought up a very valid point, Lewis, that I didn't think about. They said, well, Danny still hadn't progressed yet. He still thought that, you know, he could act the way that he was. And that's why I apparently recently found out that Danny made it into Luke Cage Season 2 for an episode or two, and he actually came back with a much more chill attitude. You know, he wasn't full of himself. He was actually laid back. They said that he eventually became the Danny Rand that we know from the comics, you know, just very cool, very casual. But still keeping, you know, a little bit of what made the character who he was, you know, from the first season. And a lot of people said, you know, okay, so is Danny Rand now Danny Rand? And I love what somebody said. They're like, well, you know, he needed that character progression. Otherwise, what was the point? Like, you know, what was the point of his character if he couldn't progress? And get to that point to where he realized, okay, you know, the way I'm acting is not going to benefit everybody. Kind of stop and think about, and when I stopped and thought about that, I'm like, yeah, you know, every character kind of needs a progressive arc like that. And if Danny Rand is finally realizing, you know, okay, I'm being an immature jerk, you know, I need to learn to chill, then okay. All of a sudden, you have the mix for a character that, you know, is likable.
Quick! You've got to fly through each ring before they turn off.
Uh-oh. Where'd it go? I lost the ring, and I think I just lost my chance at getting another power cell. Crap, I'll have to do it all over again. Yep, I gotta do it all over again. Great. Okay. Hang on, let me focus on this. Because I'm trying to talk and multitask, and that... First knock this out. Ah, there we go. Okay. Let's see if I can do this, guys. Let's see if I can knock this bad boy out. I'm gonna go for the goal. Okay, there we go. We're starting to get it. Oop. Ah. There we go. Good. Oop, oop, come on. Come on. Old zoomer is not working. Are you kidding me? Did this thing really just turn off? You know, a lot of people have said that too, that it should have been an Asian American actor, but my counter to that is, if you want an Asian American actor, cast somebody for Shang-Chi. Like that. I don't know, that's just me. When I hear, oh, it should have been an Asian American actor, I looked at it and I was like, Shang-Chi maybe, but Danny, not so much. What the? Man, I am really not doing well with these blue markers. Okay, I'll give it a couple more goes, but if I'm not able to get it, then we'll call it a session. I am totally freaking lost. Where am I? Okay, no, that's not where I need to go. Oh, wait a minute. Back this way. There we go. We'll give this one more go, guys. because I need to start wrapping this up anyway. Whoa. Well, I can understand the white or black washing arguments, but really to me, like for example, if they had cast somebody who was light-skinned to play Danny, I wouldn't have minded that race change, just as long as, you know, the character had that kind of grassroots mentality. Like, you know, the point of, you know, he is an American that happens to be a different nationality, for example. I'm not necessarily going in circles. I'm trying to get these blue markers, and the problem is I think a lot of them are timed. There we go. Ooh, come on. There. Oh, there we go, finally. Now see, Tilda Swanson's Ancient One being Asian and eventually being made white, I can understand people being upset about, but I mean, Baron Mordo, I don't think Mordo was actually Asian in the comics. I mean, maybe in the Doctor Strange animated movie, but like, yeah, Mordo wasn't even called Baron Mordo, he was just called Mordo. Like, Mordo made sense. Because really, that character could have been any race, and it would have still fit the criteria, I feel. And I just, you talk about typing too fast, I think I just went too fast and skipped over that part. Okay, so we got the blue reefs, so since I've done that, let me just squeeze a couple more minutes here, guys. Because I did talk with, you know, Lewis and Clanders for a bit at the pause menu, so I'll give you guys a couple of extra minutes. Just because, you know, I want to at least get a little bit more gameplay out. I don't want you guys to feel like a bit of that was just like me, you know, waxing philosophically. There we go. Love it. No, aww. I tried to jump. You know, it's funny, nobody had a problem with Nick Fury being black, which was funny to me. Which tells me that a lot more people read Ultimate Marvel comics or were aware of it than, you know, than anything else. Come on. Apparently I gotta build up speed here. At least in going towards that part. Ooh. we go. Stop doing that. Okay, let's see if I got... Okay, so I do got everything in there. Okay, so let's go back over here. If I can find it. And I think I'm frickin' lost. Where am I? Nope, I'm frickin' lost. Oh dear. That's not good. Oh, nope, never mind. There we go. Okay. So let's... Let's go over here to the statue. Give him the 120 precursor orbs.
For your sacrifice, I offer you a power cell.
Got a lot of power cells this playthrough. Awesome, so we got almost 47.
Good luck, boys.
Okay, so what do we got? Okay, so we got the Rock Village, the Lost Precursor City, the Basin, Fire Canyon. We are missing one in the Forbidden Jungle. Sandover Village. I need to free 7 scout flies and bring 120 precursor orbs to the Oracle. So, Boggy Swamp. But first, oh wait, let me go back and see. Where is it? Where is it? Is it back here? Okay, yeah, it's back over there. Okay, so let's go over here, see if we got enough to try to power whatever this thing is.
Well, I hope you packed a lunch, because we're just getting started. According to the Blue Sage's notes, lurkers have infested the swamp across the bay. Apparently, they're planning to use a dirigible to lift an important precursor artifact from the buck. You're going to have to get over there to dislodge their tethers. Who knows what they might want with the artifact? But like orange stuff here's breath, it just can't be good.
Well, okay. I think this is as good a place as any to stop. Let me double check this real quick. Okay, we are in good shape. Well, alright guys, I'm going to stop the episode right here. I hope that you enjoyed this third episode of Jak and Dexter, the Precursor Legacy. We are definitely making a lot more headway than you might think. But I definitely, guys, this was definitely a pretty good episode. We got a couple of trophies. We got a lot of precursor orbs. So we're making a lot of progress as far as the story and just trying to get everything to try to progress the story so we can get to the finish. But anyway, guys, I'm going to stop the video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys also have a good rest of your day or morning, night, wherever you are in the globe. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. But first, let me read Flanders' last note here, as well as Lewis's. Oh, okay. You guys are just commenting on the... Okay, so you guys are just commenting on, like, you know, the whole, like, debate on movies, comics, and whatnot. You know, about should a character have a race change or not. That's always going to be an ongoing debate, guys. It always is going to be. But that's a whole different debate to probably save for the next video or so when both of you guys join me. So, what did I just see? Did they just do a balancing act? That was weird. Okay, anyway, take care, guys. Take care, Clanders, Lewis, and of course, you know, thanks Noob for Noob Blitz for, you know, joining us on the stream and whatnot. So, take care, guys. Have a good one, and I will see if I can try to do a video tomorrow. If not, I will try to let you guys know if I'm going to do a Twitch stream or not. So, yeah. Take care, guys.